ready? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have a new teacher coming in, learning how to plan lesson plans and how to read the curriculum book. The week that we are fixing to go into next week is going to be a thematic unit. This is what our thematic units look like, and it looks nothing like what a curriculum page looks like. When you have a thematic unit, all you are doing is during spiritual is reviewing the lesson plan that you just finished with. When you get to calendar time, you are just reviewing what you did with your previous lesson plan. And all we're doing is giving you a theme, which is April showers bring May flowers. You will make this however you want. These are just examples. And if you have an older class that has language and literacy, like pre-K-A, pre-K-B, and kindergarten ready, you will add into your schedule something that goes with this theme. So we are going to have a thematic unit, we are going to have a second thematic unit, and now we are going to go into our week 23. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to open your binder and you're going to take out week 23. Week 23 is always going to have back to back, and it's always sometimes going to have an extra back to back because it says week 23. Spiritual, week 23, and then we have another week 23. On this side, it's going to be week 24, so we don't want that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take it out, and we're going to go and Xerox it. And then we are going to always make sure that we have 2 of these 3 if you want to. And you are going to make sure, this one's going to need 3, which I don't have. Let's just, this one here. You can do one of 2 things. You can put your spiritual in the back of it, or you can just get a whole different one. I'm going to put the spiritual in the back of it because I know I don't even need week 24. Okay. The reason why we do this so is if a sub comes in, then they know they don't even need to worry about looking through this big old book and figuring out where you are and where you're not. That this is easier to be posted, and it's flimsy, and you can write on it, and you can do whatever you want. You can put it in your circle time, you can put it on the wall, you can put it in your door, you can do whatever you want. So what we are doing now that we know what we have coming up is we need to do our lesson plan. Your lesson plan is going to be different per age, but this is your layout for preschool hallway. You're going to have an art, which is always a PM art. You're outside, you have to have an engagement that we talked about for the first 5 minutes, something planned. My idea is to always use your book of the week or take something that your curriculum tells you to do outside. Learning activity is done during diaper changing, but if you have all children that are potty training and diaper changing, your learning activity will be table toys. I am going to do a learning activity because your class is fully potty trained. If not, then we're not going to worry about that because we're potty training kids. And then we're going to have our spiritual development, and we're going to have a calendar time. There's a rainy day on here because it's raining right now. If you want to do that, you can. If not, it is not mandatory. Okay, so we have this daily schedule that gives you, okay? Our schedule that is on the wall looks nothing like this. So what we are going to do is we're not going to worry about the Monday, Tuesday, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. We're going to take all of these ideas and we are going to figure out how we can plug them into our lesson plan, okay? So, I'm going to mark on this, okay? Our
This is Katie.
color will always be in calendar time.
Perfect. I'll make a note right now. Thank you, Clarissa.
Our number will always be in calendar time. So I am looking at what I have up here and how I'm going to transport it onto here. Color goes with here, so of course this is going to be the same thing. That's going in calendar time, and I'm highlighting so that I remember. I'm not going to write down all of the stuff that is already on here and here, all I'm gonna do is do the snippets. So I'll show you that in a minute. But it tells you add a blue heart. So all of these things that says it on here is what you're gonna do during the activity. I am highlighting so that for a sub or for a new one coming that you know. All letters and theme and rhyme, all of this is calendar time. Okay, name activity is where you would do a learning activity, or in calendar time, you can do it as whole group. So if you have a bunch of kids' names and they're already laminated and already done and you want to do it in whole group or hold it up, but also with your kids being potty trained, they could be tracing their name while you're doing diaper changing. This would also be for pre-K A and pre-K B. They have a language and literacy time, so that could be there. Book of the week is going to be your outside time. It can also be when you're in the hallway and you're waiting on your co-teacher that's not yet out of the classroom. Hey, will you hand me that book of the week so I can read it to them? So that is going to be your outside time. We've got this, and then we have 2 more pages. So the rest of this is kind of, you have to read. It's not like in order. So when it says Bible, you know it's spiritual. So everything that is Bible is going to be spiritual development. All of this, okay? This is your story. So this will be spiritual. Okay? And then every single day you're going to have a fine motor and you're going to have a gross motor activity. This can be done in calendar time. This can be done at table toys. These are the only 2 things that you have to figure out in your day where you think that this would fit the best. Because fine motor could be digging, it could be rubbing on something, it could be your learning activity, it could be anything. This is what I'm going to call open. You have to do it. It's just not going to be on your lesson plan. Because we don't want to just take everything that's printed and write it all up here. Yeah. But this is where you'll be, okay, imagine sitting with disciples in a boat. So right off, this fine motor has to do with Bible. Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't. We're tearing paper. We're cutting with scissors. You're going to have to read this. So this is showing you on this one that it actually goes with here. So this one will be with Bible. And this is just gross motor skills with streamers. So add different colors of blue streamers because it's our color of the week. You could go walking down the hall with that. You could be cleaning up after snack and go, oh, let me get my blue streamers. Y'all go over there and dance and I'll put my Alexa on and we're gonna have some music going and we're gonna have our blue streamers. That's where you're going to have, that teaching part is really gonna have to, where am I gonna put this in? Okay? So, here we go. I'm just taking them out, but you get it, whenever we're done, we're gonna put it back in so they don't get ruined. Okay, so I personally like to start with calendar time, okay? I like to start with calendar time just because it's the easiest part of the day. So what I want to do is we have a color, a number, and we have our letter, and we have our theme. So we don't have a shape today. Sometimes it could be a shape. Sometimes it could be something else. It's gonna be different. Okay, so what I like to do is I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to do everything on Monday, everything on Tuesday, everything on Wednesday, everything on Thursday. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take one thing at a time. So on my calendar time, after I go through my order of my calendar time and I do days of the week and I do the months and I do our pledge and I do everything else, then that's when we're going to come to this. You're going to watch curriculum videos on calendar time. So on Monday, all I'm going to talk about is the heart. And when I'm done with it, I like to check mark it. Okay? So my heart it's going to be a blue heart shape. So they're trying to work in a little bit of the color in there too, but not really focusing on a lot. Okay? So the heart, and that's when it's going to tell you add a blue heart shape. So in your classroom, you have these little buddies up on your wall, and everybody's gonna work together to make them. So you're gonna have all these big shapes on your wall. Some classes do it individually, everybody's gonna be different. This is where you get to be creative, okay? So it looks for the hearts for the child's world. So you can do books, you can look at hearts in a book, you can make a heart out of a shaving cream, you can make a heart out of Play-Doh, you can do whatever you can besides just show them a heart, and that's it. So it's bringing it to life. So heart could be, you could do it out of shaving cream. You could do it out of Play-Doh. The heart has a song. You forget your heart song for the day, Alexa, play the heart song. And Alexa's gonna help you do that heart song. Everybody can do this. You can hide some hearts around the classroom with some other shapes and go, we're looking for hearts. We're not looking for squares. Who can help me find some hearts? So you can do a seek and find. You can do whatever you can to make that heart fun as can be, okay? So then we have the number 10. Okay, there we got the 10. It says, place some blue paint on a plate, give each child a sponge to dip in the paint and stamp on the number 10. Well, we're in calendar time, so I'm not gonna give a bunch of kids right now some blue paint and a bunch of number 10s, but what I could do is I could get some poster board and make a big number 10 and then get some Q-tips, and we could all work together and we could all do that 10.
Okay.
Because you look at that and go, that is not age appropriate for my 3-year-old sitting in calendar time. How else can I bring this number 10 together? So we could do the number 10 activity, paint 10. We can count to 10. We can do that in Spanish. We can do that in English. We can build with 10. We can decrease from 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can recognize those numbers. They can do anything that you want to do with a 10. They can jump up and down 10 times. They can roll around 10 times. So you're going to do everything you can for the number 10. Okay? And then we've got the letter S. So we're moving on. So we're out of the S. So this day is going to be all about S. And it gives you all of these things that you can do with the letter S. It's got a song, it's how to draw it, it's how to make it. So you can do the song. You can go around your room and grab anything that starts with the letter S. So you want to get as many live items instead of just talking, go, what starts with the letter S? Oh, silly, yay. No. Okay, go find me something. Or already have your S items ready to show. You're bringing it to life. You want them to touch it. You want them to feel it. You want them to all be able to participate. You want them to have as much fun as possible. Okay? And then it has the letter poster. Again, it tells you to do with a Play-Doh with each individual child. If you want to get a piece of construction paper, a poster board, give everybody some Play-Doh and fill in that big S. You're bringing that S to life. You're talking about what sound it says. You're talking about all of the different things in your classroom that start with the letter S. So you can also do your letter poster. Your rhyme is fit in with your calendar time. You can do your rhyme wherever you please. Most people like to end their calendar time before they do their calendar ending song with the rhyme. Okay, I'm not going to put that on here because that is not something that they're going to learn. It's something that they're going to auditory learn. It's not going to be something physical. Okay, so then we're coming down. We got that check mark. So we check mark that. I use that. I'm doing that to hold myself accountable. Okay, what else are they telling me to do? Okay, I got that. But I'm not writing it all because I also can read. I'm just trying to make sure that I can come in and go S items and go and find it instead of going, what do I need to do? Okay, learning activity. In this class, 90% of the time, it has some fun stuff to do about the name. So you have your learning activity. And this is going to be tracing all week because that is the only idea that it gives to you. But if you wanted to trace with daubers, if you wanted to trace with a Q-tip, you wanted to trace with a marker, you wanted to trace with a pencil, you wanted to change it up each day, that would make it fun. And that is all week. So if you wanted it to be different, then it could be pencil. It could be daubers. It could be markers. It could be Q-tips. It could be paint. And you can have as much fun with it as possible. Yes, that looks crazy, but nobody sees this but you. Okay. And then, so we've got that. And then we have our book of the week. I still think it's the best thing to take outside. You have them all sitting on the wall. You just did name to face. We just went over the rules, and now I'm going to read you a story. Then go play.
Okay.
Or, do you want to go read under the tree with me? Come on, let's go under there really quick and let's go read under the tree. Go play. And let them go have fun. So you could do book of week. I always just abbreviate BOW. And just so you already know, so you don't have to do it, you can write out the cow who clucked. And I showed you where that was. That was outside of the classroom in the plastic bag. Fleming. And I'm going to do that again. Okay? So, I kind of skipped around and I apologize, but I was just going in order of what we were doing. Okay, so I got that. And I don't have anything else here to go on here. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to review all three. Now, if this would have been a heart, blue, 10S, then we'd review all of that on David. If it would have been a heart, 10S, and red, then I would do all of them. So on this day, I'm going to review the heart, the number 10, and the S. And on this day, I'm going to review the heart, the number 10, and the S. And I already know what all my activities are, but Brenda might not have been here on Monday, so thank goodness she's here. And then Caden might not have been here, but at least we're coming back and we're reviewing on these days. If you don't want to review and you want to figure out how to spread this out more, you are more than welcome to. I'm just showing you I am doing what they are providing and what they are providing only. Okay? And then we've got art. So your idea is this is where the computer comes from, okay? The reason why I do this, we're going all the way across, okay? Whatever you do here is going to be your art. Whatever you do here will be your art. Whatever you do here will be your art. One of the tricky things is if you wanted to for an art, they give you a theme. Sorry, where did it go? Here's your theme. So they don't give you the big, sometimes see where it says letter and theme? Mm-hmm. If that would have been a theme and it would have said go-kart, I don't know. And that would have been your theme day, then theme could have been there. Okay. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's why I'm reviewing. So we're gonna have a heart art. We're gonna have the number 10 art. We're gonna have the S art. And then we have this day. You can do a free art. Okay. I did in one of the classes, I did April showers bring May flowers. So it'd be May flowers. So I'm gonna do a Mayflower art. This could be a Mother's Day art. This could be, hey, I noticed that they're having a hard time cutting. Hey, this is like you're free. And on Fridays, I always do a spiritual art. Okay. Always. Every Friday. You're never gonna have 5 things to fill this up. Always, always Fridays. Because spiritual development does a lot of talking, a lot of flannel graph. Okay? So now we have spiritual development. So spiritual development gives you all your things that we already saw. Gives you your story, gives you your song, gives you your activity, gives you your verse, and there's your story. Okay? So the way spiritual does is first and foremost you do flannel graph. And we're gonna go over how to do all this. So your flannel graph's all the way up here. I spelled flannelgraphy. That is not flannelgraphy. So we already know what our story is. We're gonna do our flannel graph. And then we're gonna do our story, which goes with flannel graph and kind of go toe and toe. Then you have your song. Then you have your activity. And then you have your verse. Okay? And if you wanted to write it out, you're more than welcome to, but these are gonna be in there, and there's not really, this is just really trying to help the person that comes in to know what they're supposed to do. Okay, so this activity, you're only getting one activity to do it. You are more than welcome to come up with more. And as we noticed, this fine motor activity went with Bible adventure. Bible adventure. That was funny. It goes with Bible. So this could be an activity also. So you've got activity number 1 and activity number 2. Spiritual development, talking wise. Story, flannel graph, song, and verse can last 15 minutes. If you want to go to the table, last 15 minutes is activity time. Okay? So when you don't have more 5 activities to go, this is going to take a while for them to learn. If you did that song, that's going to be your walking song. Remember we talked about the different songs that you could do? You can take this walking down the hall with you. So you have 30 minutes. That does not mean you have to talk to these children for 30 minutes. Calendar time. You do not have to talk to these children for 30 minutes. After you do your calendar wall and after you bring this to life and you notice that you still have a lot of time, you can go to the table and get everybody Play-Doh to do a heart. You can go to the table and get everybody shaving cream to do the number 10. You can go to the table and give everybody Play-Doh, roll it like a snake and make an S. Or they can get dry erase boards. Your calendar time and your Bible adventure, you get Bible adventure,
Yes.
Spiritual development.
PBS is second.
I know. You get your 30 minutes, but don't always think you just have to sit there. Anytime you want to bring something to life and they're getting antsy, go to the table. You don't have to learn sitting in front of that calendar time, and you don't have to learn sitting in front of that flannel graph. Okay? So, I'm not going to do the rainy day. That is TikTok. That is Pinterest. What do I need to do? I can go to TikTok. What am I going to do? I'm basing off a rainy day. I'm going to go to TikTok, or I'm going to figure it out and know bubbles, shaving cream, Play-Doh, and dancing is always going to be the first thing that we go to. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so I'm going to show you how. We're going to go to the computer. You've got the computer in the back. You've got the laminating machine back. You've got the copier that sometimes acts up. But anything that you do back there, if it doesn't print, you can always email it to us and we will print it. Okay? So the first thing we do, you have Canva back there. Okay? So if you're going to go to Canva, you're just going to create and flyer. Super simple. Okay? If you don't like Canva and you want to do Microsoft, you are more than, where is Microsoft?
You may have to type Word in the search.
Okay. If you want to do Word, same thing. Blank document. Okay? I like Canva. It saves my life. So I'm going to go back to Canva because I like Canva. Okay. So all I did that I need to Google on here is spiritual development and creative art. That's pretty much it. Because at home you might be TikToking. And you're just going to remember when you come in, you talk to Isabella, and hey, it's going to be a rainy day. What ideas do we have? Some people have buckets in their room. They got balloons in their bubbles. They have a rainy day bucket. You are more than welcome to do that also. Those are the days you had one today. That's when you pull out all the tricks, or you come up to one of us and go, I don't know what to do today. We're a rainy day, and they were crazy yesterday. Help me. We will spit it at you. Okay? So we are right now going to come up with a heart art. Okay? So all we do is we go to Google, and this is for shape, color, letter, number, doesn't matter. Shape of a heart, art for preschool. That is it. Color, red, for art for preschoolers. Letter M for art for preschoolers, okay?
Okay.
And then it pops up, but you always have to go to images. And then you get to scroll and see. I'm gonna let you point out which one you want. Age appropriate, always age appropriate. You do nothing. They glue, they tear, they do everything. What do you think a 3-year-old would enjoy doing with a heart?
I really feel like they would enjoy tearing up little bitty pieces and pasting them onto the heart.
Oh my goodness, look at you. So I clicked it with my right. Now I'm gonna left click it. I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna right click it and I'm gonna paste it. You're asking me why I do that? Because what I wanna do is I wanna print all of these, and as you can see from past, is I'm gonna cut them out and I'm gonna tape them or I'm gonna glue them in there for a sub, or because you planned those 2 weeks and Isabella didn't, so you're giving her an idea of what you had the idea of doing. Okay? And so we're just gonna keep it there. Look at Canva. Look at Canva. We're just gonna take that one idea though. Okay? So what we decided to do was tear and glue on a heart. Just a quick explanation, or take it and paste it. I'm not telling you you have to cut that out and put it. Some people are different. Some people just put it all on there and then they attach it on here and you just look. Okay, so we're gonna do both ways. Since you already saw the one way, we'll do that. Okay, let's go back, and then we have number 10 art. I forgot the 10. Okay, so number 10 for preschoolers. A little bit harder with math.
Yeah.
So they're focusing on that. Just a quick, you could do 10 raindrops and you could write the highlighter and they could write the number 10. They're not really doing anything with that unless they did their hands. And then with the highlighter, you did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they got to trace it. Or you could trace their hands and they could color them in. And then they could write their number 10 if you wanted to do that. Do you see anything you like?
Yeah, I actually scroll back up.
Okay.
I like the French fries.
Cute.
Everybody can get.
Everybody can get 10 French fries. So we right clicked, we did copy, we went back, we right clicked, and we pasted. So love Canva. So I'm just gonna put on here 10 French fries. Okay. And then your nap room teacher, you would bring her some construction paper and you would say, I just need you to cut out like 10 of these in a bunch of yellow. That way they're gluing it, and in the middle you could highlight the number 10, they could trace it. All art, make sure you're writing with a highlighter their name at the front and they're tracing it. Even if it's scribble, you're sitting in there and you're going, okay, this is Lincoln, Lincoln. Okay, Lincoln, now I need you to trace your name. Okay, and then we got the letter S art, back to Google. I just keep on doing this. All the cute things. Age appropriate, 3-year-old.
That's cute. Strawberries, but
Okay, so right click, copy, go back, we're gonna paste it. Now I do wanna show you something. When it comes to your letters and it comes to your numbers and stuff, sometimes you need that S. If you go back and you do letter S clip art or number 10 clip art or shape clip art, it'll give you one that you can copy it. And then that nap room teacher, you could say, hey, is there any way that you can trace 15 S's for them? Because they can't cut yet, so they're working on it. And then all you would need, it looks like you could do a Q-tip with yellow, their name, of course, highlight and a trace. Green, they could tear paper. You want it to look like garbage. You want it to look like they did it.
They did it.
You want it to look like they did it.
They'd be so proud.
They would be so proud. And then Thursday is our free art, so we did Mayflower art for preschoolers. All the things.
I do like that. A reef.
Do you think they would be able to that age appropriate? Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I'm not.
okay, that's okay. But I'm gonna stick on this because you like the flowers.
They could. What if we did like a flower pot picture, and then they paint their own flowers with their hands?
Okay, I think I just saw like a flower pot. Ooh, where did I see that? I saw a flower pot something. Flower pot, flower pot. Oh, I thought I did. Like this?
Yeah. Like
Okay.
that.
Okay. So I'm glad you picked that, because then we can talk about what are they going to do. Because with that, pretty much you're only doing their handprint. So would you have them do the base and that and everything else?
Yeah.
Okay, so you could cut out a bunch of pots and a bunch of leaves and a bunch of stems, and they could
put
build it,
everything
and
on
then
there.
they could. And always remember, don't always use paint, you can use ink pads.
Okay.
Ink pads are good, easy wipe, and it can be off. Okay? I'm gonna get rid of that one. And then our last one is gonna be spiritual art. So probably the hardest, just because sometimes they don't come up with the best. So it says Jesus calms the storm. Sometimes you have to put in Matthew 8:23 through 27, but I like to start with this. So we're gonna go to Jesus calms the storm, art for preschoolers. It gave us a good one. It never happens. It never happens. So he's calming the storm. He's the one that says stop, and so that his disciples are getting sick and wanting to jump. So you really can pick something and make it age appropriate. This is kind of cute.
Yeah, that is.
That's
That, yeah.
Yeah, and you can kind of grab, and that's the teacher coming out in you, and Isabella also has lots of experience too, that you can come up with it on that way. Okay, so I'm keeping all of them because we're going to print all of this later. Okay, the only other thing that we are going to use for this is going to be your spiritual flannel graph. Again, another one that is usually hard to find. Katie's really good about sometimes printing it for y'all because she knows it's hard. Your Bibles are in your classroom. Your flannel graphs are it's like a 11 by 17 board in your classroom. And these pictures, you will put Velcro on the back and you'll tell the story as you are reading the story. And if you can't ever find like the actual flannel graph clip art, sometimes you can put, I just need a Jesus, a boat, a cloud, a wave, and lightning. And it doesn't all have to be on a page.
Okay.
So what we're gonna try to do is we are going to try to do Jesus calms the storm. This is different than art preschoolers, but I always, and you might tell me different, Katie. Jesus calms the storm, flannel, graph, clip, art, and I always put cartoon. Is
Yeah,
that what you do?
I usually do clip art, flannel graph clip art.
Okay.
But cartoon's fine.
And then, so we know what we need. We need water, Jesus, boat, dark cloud, waves, and lightning. Well, we are just blessed because
There's a
it
whole
It's
one.
right there.
is right there.
And they're
So
super cute.
everybody just know that this never happens. So you would literally clip art a cloud, clip art a boat, clip art a Jesus, and you would just cut them out. So what we're gonna do is right click, copy, and we're gonna bring them back over here just like we've been doing. We're gonna make them bigger. And our suggestion is to laminate and to keep in a baggie and write on it what week it is and what it is, and because this curriculum doesn't change next year.
Okay.
So you're just gonna cut around Jesus, you're gonna cut around that, and then we're gonna do Velcro, we're gonna put it on a flannel graph. Okay. Did I cover everything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so to print, you go to share, you go to download, you come up here, go to print, and I actually typed all this out for you, like the Google and everything too. So, and then we want all 3 pages, so we're just gonna download all of them. Pops up. We're gonna print. If it doesn't print back there, we can always email it to us, and then we're gonna print it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna do this part. I'm just gonna attach it to here,
Okay.
so that your ideas are on there. And I'm gonna go get it really quick so that we have it. Printed everything. I like how big it is, but again, if you wanna do it like that, you're more than welcome to. And then I would just paper clip all this here.
Okay.
I would also suggest that since your spiritual is going to be in here, just to keep up with it, you can put your spiritual with your spiritual just so we don't lose it,
Okay.
if that makes sense. And he can stay back there,
Okay.
okay? Okay, it was a lot of information.
Yep, I got it.
Okay,
Mm.
okay, awesome. Okay,